So when we plant crops like our corn, we must wait until everybody else has planted for at least 2 weeks, so that when our corn pollinates, it's not cross-contaminating with anybody else's. Does that make sense?
And it's really cool because since it's a white corn, if we do get a cross in it, it's yellow. Because everybody else's is yellow field corn, so we can tell. This year we had almost no crossing at all, and we planted almost a month later because the conditions were better this year. It was too wet last year for everybody. So we typically plant our corn the first or second week in June, whereas everybody else is trying to get theirs in May.
Do you tell the difference between your land and other?
Oh, yeah.
We have some cool things on our property, like we have frogs, and we have snakes, and we have earthworms, and things like that.
And we have great blue herons that spend time in our fields, toads, there's amphibians, there's reptiles.
And they're not on the
I
other
challenge you to go find another farm field that has frogs or reptiles.
Of course, we have a lot more weeds, too, but the weeds tell us different things also. Like, this was an area that was our white corn. It's very grassy. It's had a lot of foxtail. That means that the soils are very tight in here, so we need to remedy that with some kind of probably calcium or something like that to loosen the soils. So we're able to look at the weeds and figure out what's wrong with our soils. Maybe it's a different way that we're cultivating or something like that, brings in different weeds, that type of thing. So we kind of use our weeds in that way. Plus, we sell a lot of weeds for food. So when we're getting lamb's quarter and the rest of the farmers are spraying it, we're selling it $8 a pound to restaurants. So it's not really a weed in that the same way. So it looks different. The farm looks different, but it's kind of cool because you can go out there and you can be pulling up potatoes and finding earthworms or toads.
You're even growing nettle,
Yeah,
which
we
is
do
incredible,
nettle
incredible herb.
Yeah, we have a patch of nettle that's really good.
Anybody who had a nettle soup in spring knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's very healthy too.
So, we've had people that come and visit or are trying to find the farm, and we had a couple of people say, I knew this was it. I knew this was it. It doesn't look like anybody else's. It's got cover crops. This year, with all the hay and the weed across the road and everything that we're doing, we'll be 99% covered and green all winter long, which is remarkable for here.
And we have to explain a little bit too. The alfalfa to the south here, and then across the road that is just planted in wheat. That goes to Marty's mom. She has a conventional farmer that does that. The alfalfa goes to the dairy that's just outside of Fairbury.
Some of you might know Kilgus Dairy or Kilgus Farmstead.
Yeah, they bottle
All of that goes to them.
So all of that goes to them. It's chemical free, so they're getting all that good feed for their cows. And then the acreage that Marty and Will and I farm as food, like the sorghum, the white corn, all the different kinds of vegetables, the wheat, we've got 2 kinds of wheat. That is it's close to about 15 acres right now. Next year it'll be closer to 20 because we're going to expand our corn, and we're actually going to expand our pasture area for the pigs. So that's going to increase that a little bit. But it's really not that much, and it's a lot for 3 people, so we're doing a lot of crops like the sorghum and the corn that we can use some smaller equipment with them.
You have to be smart, because otherwise it would be very easy to physically put yourself in the ground. There's a lot of hours, there's a lot of handwork that's involved, and so we are constantly looking for ways to minimize the fatigue, minimize the frustration of the season, but also keep it diverse enough and challenging enough that it keeps us engaged. Yes, sir, you had a question.
I was curious about how the wooded area fits in.
So our season actually begins in December and January. Kris begins planting transplants of peppers and tomatoes and herbs and things downstairs in the basement under grow lights. February, we begin tapping maple trees in the woods. So we begin our maple syrup season, which can run from 3 weeks to 6 weeks in February and March. We'll basically, you know, syrup had not been sold off this farm for 50-some years. It had always been a part of the Native Americans had showed my fourth great grandfather how to make syrup, and so it had always been done on the farm until the 1950s. I had kind of brought Will up, and we'd always made a little syrup each year or two for us. And so when he turned 15 or so, he said, you know, what I'd really like to do is resurrect that maple syrup industry. So he basically got a grant from Frontera Farmer Foundation for a new structure and new equipment that's certified. He took the production department, it got inspected and all of that. They built a new syrup house, all the equipment's
There's
in there.
about 4 16-year-olds out here building this syrup house.
And they did it. All recycled material. They did it. And so this year, he was basically his first year out of high school. And so the three of us, we did it every day. Made syrup. The season was short, very short. It was.
What month of the year is that?
February and March.
Mid-February.
You want the temperature at night to be below freezing and above freezing during the day, but not too above freezing. And it got warm and it didn't get cold again. So we basically collected about 2,200 gallons of sap, and you get a prize if you tell me how many gallons of sap it makes to make 1 gallon of syrup.
110?
40 to 42.
40 to 42. Very good.
Because I did a. I'll tell you later.
Long story.
You did a master's thesis on it? No.
I actually did a brochure not that long ago about foods from the Midwest and
Yeah.
the Northeast, and one of them was
Sure.
the product of maple syrup. So I
Right.
did that in there.
So we ended up with barely 50 gallons of syrup. And the poor kid could sell 1,000 gallons of syrup in about 20 minutes.
We
So,
had all of it pre-sold.
I mean, it's
We
just,
had way more than what we had.
literally, we could sell 1,000 gallons of syrup tomorrow. Which is great.